Welcome again. Hi everyone. Hey, and today we are.
Hi.
Welcome, Sri.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Not too bad.
How's Christmas, by the way? How's your Christmas holidays?
Christmas was good.
Yes.
2 appointments a day. That's the max I can do.
Appointment is fine, but appointment with meal.
With me, with lunch.
Oh yes. I think you by the end of the year you should see yourself see the Wednesday.
Interestingly, although I've been eating so much, right? Over the past few days, I'm actually walking and taking more steps daily versus that I was for the past few months.
Okay.
So in a way, it's not
So you're actually at the 10,000
every day, yeah. Versus the last few months, it was only what 2,000, 3,000. I mean, not last few months. So my work from home started in March.
So that's all it is. So coming till the end of the year, your break.
Yeah, I'll be going back to start work 4th.
Right. So please share with us what you're doing currently. Yeah.
So my role, if you ask me how would I describe my role, I am a hunter and I am also a problem solver.
Wow.
And at times I may also need to build some teams. So yeah, that's what my role is. Or in some other terms, 包刷包派, like PKP, like you really do everything end to end.
Okay.
But my forte will be hunter and problem solver.
Specifically in what industry you're in?
I'm in tech, in IT.
In IT.
Yeah.
Any specific? I know IT is very much. Sorry, I'm obvious with it. So maybe educate me in specific areas, or maybe give a rundown a little bit about that different areas of it.
So I guess tech industry is big in terms of whether it's software, it's hardware, it's application, or even in a printing company, it's also considered tech, right? Tech can be anywhere. It can be in finance, it can be different area. Manufacturing also has tech.
So please educate me a little bit about this tech. Alright.
Okay. So first you must understand the supply chain, right? How this whole thing works. So if you have to look right at the top, you have the end customer. Sorry, my handwriting is really ugly, so just bear with me. So when we say end customer, could be examples such as banks or even Newcrest.
Right.
Newcrest, right? Newcrest is also a customer. Your company you're in, okay, marine tech, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You guys are all customers, right? We are all customers, okay? And for tech industry, it's interesting is you cannot sell directly to the end customer, right? There's always a supply chain in all forms. So who sell to the customer will be a group of folks known as the resellers.
Right.
People who resell, right?
Okay.
So resellers, even the shops in Xinmin Square, in Funan, those can be a reseller as well, right? There are many forms of resellers. Resellers, who do they buy from, right? They have to buy from distributors.
Alright.
Okay. And distributors, who do they buy from? They buy from the vendor. We call it the tech vendors, right?
Okay. Sure.
Tech vendors, right? But again, some of these vendors, they don't manufacture themselves, right? Because if you are looking at hardware component, microchip, it may not come that come with CK for different.
Right.
So even from tech vendors, they own. So these people own. We own it. We own the IP, right?
Okay.
But in terms of maybe they have buy from manufacturers for things manufacturers such as for chips,
Right.
or certain hardware, certain components, right?
Sure.
So we have right now.
Okay.
But so where I am.
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't start out. Okay. So to really learn the market, right, is to start somewhere here, right? Because as you go higher, you kind of own the product, right? And you just get people to sell.
Right.
So I started out my first career in a reseller, right? And that's where I cover customer, right? And interestingly is the Okay, so I first started out as a software company, in a software company. I was a programmer then, but that company is also like a reseller, right? They do applications, but they also sell certain things. After that, I actually left. I went to study.
Right.
Degree in marketing, in commerce, focusing. I think I was majoring in marketing as well, information system.
Yeah.
I came back. I wanted to do a marketing job. I went for so many interviews.
Yeah.
They were not keen at all to hire a fresh grad marketing person for a proper marketing job. They expect you to do a bit of admin and all that, right? So I went through some interview, and interestingly, like research company which I really like, they called me for interview, but they were not interested to hire me. And the only reason I asked them, why do you call me for interview for? They say, because you're curious why you applied for the job and you don't meet any of the criteria.
Oh.
So I'm like, aren't you wasting my time and your time? So yeah, but you truly don't fit the criteria, but why do you even apply? I said, if I don't apply, I wouldn't know, right?
Yes.
And you always need to give somebody a chance to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So giving the start somewhere was a choice whereby I think a lot of companies are not willing to do that. And that's what I observed over the past year. Not many people are willing to give a fresh grad with no experience a chance to do something that they like or they want. Because companies want profitability. They want everything to go quick and fast. So fine. So I was like, okay, fine. You want me? Since I like to do marketing, I cannot sit at the desk from 9 to 5. I kind of go sideways and I get really bored. I need to talk to people. I need to move. So I was like, okay, fine. So what can I do, right? So I can do sales and I can talk to people, and I do sales. I can do marketing as well. So I applied for a job in a reseller. So I was actually here. So this is where I started out. That was after my uni.
Right. Okay.
So when I was in the reseller, interestingly is I was either you are given accounts, right? You have most salespeople got the luxury of being given accounts lah. But I didn't lah. They say, okay, you will be the hunter. So like, me is the hunter.
What? Yes.
Right, is the hunter, right? So like, hunt what? What do you need hunt?
Yes.
So being hunter means they give me an industry and a segment that nobody in the company is covering. Meaning it's a new business.
Okay.
Right?
Uncharted, right?
Yeah, new uncharted business, nobody covering that segment. They want to grow that segment, and they need people go and hunt, go and find customers. Then I asked them, got database? Don't have. Where do I get contacts from? Somebody passed me a yellow pages book. I was like, seriously? I was like, are you kidding me? A yellow pages book? You want me to call this? It was, in my mind, I was thinking, I think it's ridiculous lah. So I didn't follow that. Right? Okay. So the sector that I got was very interesting. Chemical and oil industry.
Wow.
That was in what? 2006? So chemical and oil industry, which part of Singapore is it at?
Right at the Western Tip. Jurong Island.
Yeah. So at that point in time I don't drive, right?
Yeah.
So every day I hang around Jurong. Jurong Island was quite new. I think quite new. Transportation in there is like crazy. Restricted. But I think I managed to do it quite well. And we have I need the experience.
Yes.
And okay lah, every month I was in the top 5 ranking of sales lah, right? So when I got commission, I learned and plus. And as a salesperson, I think at the end of the day, you are valuable only because of your contacts. Right? And I think my customer in Jurong Island were very nice. So that was 1 year in the organization, and I can tell you something that really happened to me in Jurong Island that I think I really wanted to cry. Like, you know, Mooncake Festival got to deliver mooncake to clients, right? So as a resellers, we kind of need to deliver mooncake to these group of clients who were mine in Jurong and in Jurong Island. Actually, don't drive. Carry boxes of mooncake. Okay? Then I go Jurong Island. The taxi driver dropped me off at the wrong place.
Oh man.
And then refused to drive me to the correct place. He jacked me on the roadside. And Jurong Thailand, you know, from one office to the next office, right?
It's not.
It's very far.
That's not based on.
And 206. I think the buses is only limited time. Nobody will go in one more. So I was standing at roadside with boxes of mooncake and cannot do anything.
Oh man.
I was stuck there for very long. Like I want to cry, cannot cry because I still, in case I need to go see flyer, I cannot cry, right?
Yes.
So, but luckily I think there was a cab that was eventually going up. That was willing to give me a ride out.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like, whew. So my experience working as a reseller, hunting new clients in a sector that nobody was doing, given Yellow Pages book, because in the end I didn't use Yellow Pages. So I went online and do a search based on the top chemical industry. I think there is some indexes from SGX, etc. I use that instead. So I think at the end of the day, if you are given a role of hunter, be smart, right? Go through contacts, go online, search. There are ways to find contacts without having to do Yellow Pages, right? And don't do door-to-door knocking with your pamphlets and brochures, please. That is very unglamorous. So
valuable tips, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, it's about hunting.
Yeah. So someone, I have colleagues who actually carry their brochures. Carry brochures. Go office, knock door to door. Hello, Mr. You want to buy my tech? You know, my company is this company. We provide this solution. Do you want to buy anything from us? You know what? You really can move out.
You are really happy.
And don't do that. So when I told them, I said I won't do that. I said it degrades our profession, and I don't see myself as a salesperson. I see myself as a consultant or advisor. So I said you are just tarnishing your own reputation by doing that, and it's you put yourself a level down. So never do that, right? Others want to do that, then do lah. If you want to be a good consultant and advisor, right? Don't do that. Never. Okay, and I've talked to many customers. I said, with these people coming in and do that, what would you guys actually entertain them? And I've talked to like directors, C-level. They say no. We just ask them, thank you, goodbye. Right? Because to these people, you need to make an appointment to meet them. You don't just knock on the door and give you a card. Like, so what? I can just go online and find contacts, right? So that was my early part of the career when I was here. Doing very well here, I would say. You know, I being constantly in the top 5. Yes. And halfway through the role, I realized I need to specialize. You cannot be a jack of all trades. Even in the reseller, they sell A to Z. Everything, right? So you need to pick your battle. So when I was here, what I did was I picked security as my forte. Alright. Right. Okay. So we represented a whole list of technology vendor. Okay. So we represent their brands. So here, I use straight okay. So people like Cisco, let's put this company lah. People like Juniper, people like AWS.
I think the Cisco is very well known.
Yeah, I mean, and so for right, okay, Palo Alto that was
Palo Alto, yeah.
Right? So these are all tech vendors. So resellers usually represent them, right? Okay. So I pick my battle. Right. Okay. I choose to. One was a storage vendor that I focus in. The other one was a security vendor, and the third was also security, but niche, very niche in the market. So not many people are selling. Okay. So I do well in that, and I become like a product champion. Yeah. So you just be a product champion and own that as like a business, right? So after a while, someone asked me I want to join them or not, because that guy was being promoted. He needs somebody to take over his role. I was like, okay, okay. So
that's a golden opportunity.
So I moved to a distributor.
Right.
So distributor, you think very good life, working, I work 1 month, macam like work 1 year.
Why is that so?
Because, you know what is a sandwich, right? You know what's a hamburger,
Yes.
right? How many layers inside? Right. So distributor, right? You see the supply chain, you're right in the middle, right?
Yes.
You have to know the meat and the vegetable, the tomatoes, everything of a sandwich and hamburger.
Right.
Right. You face your reseller, you cannot deliver your goods in time to them because they have to buy from you.
Yeah.
You also kena. You give them back discount, you also kena. Right? And then when you don't bring in the order, these people here will come after you.
Yeah.
Where is my PO? Where is my order? Quarter ending, I need another $1 million. You go and find.
Okay.
So distributor sandwich. That's why my
Yes.
1 month life macam like 1 year.
Okay.
You know what kind of hours I was sleeping?
Yeah.
I'll show my boss this clip, like my boss here, okay? Because he knows what I meant. So interestingly, the hours, right? My team don't sleep one.
Goodness.
The team that I work with is crazy team.
So there's no fixed hours. So
You don't
I would say odd hours also. So
Super odd hours. You know what? I finish, like shut down my laptop at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I go and sleep, right? Finally clear all my emails. Go
Yeah.
and sleep. 5, 6 a.m. I wake up. How come there's so many more emails coming? I was like, you don't sleep.
And what kind of work actually entails that you don't sleep?
Quotation, reply email, solve problem, delivery issue, invoice
But here, do you
issue.
still need to do hunting?
No.
No.
So the good thing is that I need to
So now from a hunter, so what you have transformed then?
So I become a builder.
Oh.
I call myself a builder lah.
Okay.
Because
so from hunter to building.
Because I was
So what do you
given
build?
I was given a set of I think 10 to 15 resellers. So as a reseller, my accounts are the customers.
Right.
As a distributor, my accounts are the resellers.
Okay.
Right? So the variation is a pyramid. So I have about 10 to 15 of them. Some are giving us, very little revenue every year.
Yeah.
Some are okay, a couple of millions.
Okay.
So why I call myself a builder? Meaning those with giving me maybe less than 100K a year,
Yeah.
I need to build them to become many 100Ks
Right.
a year, right? And by building them means, right, I need them to sell the products I represent here.
Sure.
Because as a distributor, you represent the different vendors, right? Yeah. So I need to sell it, right? So I build and then grow with
Grow.
it.
Okay.
And then I have to battle a lot of things as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another joke, okay? Not joke, I think classic case. I was well known in as a distributor at that time.
Yeah, what's that?
The person who hired me has a tendency to be super late, very late.
Oh.
As in extremely late. So even when he interviewed me, he was so late that I was robbed while waiting for him. I was robbed. Attempted rob. So he's so late that I really cannot take it.
Okay.
Because as a distributor, when you go and meet your resellers, if I have 15 resellers, right, in a day I need to meet many people.
Yeah.
And in this company itself, there are so many people. And I don't drive. Okay? As a distributor at that, I still don't drive. Okay? My mode of transport, taxi.
Wow.
I take taxi one day I can take don't know how many $100 north, south, east, west. So you must learn how to plan your route, okay? Plan your day, plan your journey so that you won't end up going to and fro in circles. You plan it in such a way it's a smooth journey, smooth ride, and you save the most cost.
Yes.
Okay? So you know what I did to him? Because always late, right? I cannot take it anymore. I told him, okay boss, I give you a piggy bank. I put on my table. For every time you are late, you put $1 inside.
Serious.
And he's the one who hired me. So he's
Okay.
my boss also, right?
Yeah.
Like appraiser is also by him, right?
Right.
Whether I get he wants to help me grow, develop, it's also him, right? But I said I cannot take it because you are always late. You cause all my meeting. If you are late in my first meeting,
Yeah.
my subsequent meetings will be late. And it's the same for everybody.
How
And
much actually he received it?
Of course, like, okay lah, he say can, fine. So
Right.
he agreed lah. So at the end of the year, okay lah, we got a quite a good pool of money. We go buy, we spend it for the team lah.
Okay.
But I must say, I think he has improved. So up to now, right, with his team or with any company he go to, right, he will remember how I made him learn to be punctual.
Wow.
So if you have colleagues, bosses who are doing that, figure way out to help them.
A piggyback.
To help them learn how to be punctual, because it's about respect of each other's time. And in a day we only have 24 hours. If one meeting is delayed, it's a chain effect, right? So there are ways to do it subtly. Don't be like me, so gung-ho and take a risk, because I was risking my job.
Take note of that, huh? Okay.
You have to do that to your boss, but I think twice.
Yes.
Don't be like me. I was lucky, I would say. I didn't get fired lah. So the whole company, including my big boss, know that I have that feedback.
Wow. Okay.
So distributor, it was fun while we were there. I was there for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Then after that, I moved to another distributor, which is a new setup in Singapore.
Sorry, before you proceed, the 3 years, right? So what was the highlight there, being a distributor? What the highlight that you had?
I've slept so little that I've neglected all my friends. By the way,
Oh, so that's how we know you were missing for 3 years, right? You've not met her for a while.
So
We went hibernating.
So can you eject? I didn't go hibernating, I was being
Hibernating.
So in these 3 years as a distributor, I neglected my friends. Meaning I can be in a dinner environment, I can be at a gathering, but my brain is not there lah. My body is there already. I can be having lunch, but I'm on the phone and eating.
Oh, man.
So it's like lunch and eating, and I can multitask. I was very good at multitasking here. And weekly we are driven by numbers. So we live and die with numbers.
So Shri, for 3 years, basically your life revolves around work.
It must
no life in a sense. Your life is just work for 3 years.
Yeah, then I go and learn a lot of things also lah.
Okay, sure.
But I think I made a lot of friends here. I've learned a lot as well about the industry. So if you really want to learn about this whole industry, right, what it's all about, you know where's the best place to learn? Here.
Oh,
In the distributor, because you are right in the middle. You must know what happens here. You must know what happens here. And you must know what happened here.
Okay.
So you kind of have the information from all over. Right. So a distributor actually helped me to gain a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
And another important advice that I received when I was in distributor. A good friend, or rather someone from a tech vendor that was doing Sri, always keep your desk clean. I was like, why? Because you never know when you walk into the office and given a 2-hour notice to get out and get up.
Right.
So that was 2023. This was what? 2006, 2007, I think 2008. I was being told that statement. Have everything, keep your desk clean, have everything you need in your backpack or in your car. Be ready to walk into the office in the morning and you are being booted out in less than 2 hours.
So the message that you received from that means?
Or rather, I wouldn't say cruel, but that is the industry for you, right? That is how it is. At that point of time, I couldn't understand because I was still new. It's like as I grow, I know what she meant. Because as I grow in the industry, I see it sort of until right now. Okay lor, where's retrenchment? Coming again. So it become a topic whereby it's no longer a taboo.
Yes.
It become a topic whereby is it scary? Maybe at the point of time it feels scary, but it also helped me to be prepared. Meaning, anytime, anywhere, you really might just be let go.
So with that in mind, how do you prepare yourself for that? Because anytime you can sort of fired or be let go. So how do you prepare yourself for that?
So, I guess, just have everything in the brain. At the end of the day, you own the contact, you own the knowledge.
That's right.
Right? If you want me to return anything, just return all everything. If you want the letter, I give you back. And okay, a bit heartless is don't have too much attachment.
Okay. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that. Don't have attachment
With
to the job, to the organization, to the people,
to the organization. At the end of the day, anybody can do your job. Okay? To an organization, anybody can do your job, regardless of your age and experience and how much you think. Right? It's about training the person or somebody being young. So it's anybody can do your job. So you must always evolve as an individual in tech industry. You must always evolve. You must always learn and upskill. And at the end of the day, the knowledge is for us to give. And network. Okay?
Yes.
Network and network and network. It's about who you network with. But network smartly. Network smartly. I see people network not so smart. End up to know. Also, it cannot help them. But network. So tech industry, it's because we go by numbers, right? First quarter, okay lah, let you off. Second quarter, you still not hitting your number, you better be on your toes. Third quarter, you still not hitting, I think you better start preparing to make exit. There are some who are a bit more lenient, willing to give you chance, but majority, it's about them. So there was a period of time I was living by the quarters. Don't live by years, right? Like, I don't know how many years are you in this industry? 20, then I said, Sri, how many years in the industry? 26 quarters.
26 quarters or by quarter?
I live by quarters because I survived that quarter means blessing another day. So distributor is fun, it's crazy, but you work like that.
So something similar, I think you're in line with what you just mentioned, that you have to be always prepared, right? I think the same line for yours is to be, make sure that your table is clean all the time, just in case. Alright, I think when I remember once when I first got in as a lecturer, right? So one my boss who interviewed me actually shared this. While you're here, Sharon, make yourself employable and marketable.
Yeah.
Alright? So it took me some time to think, what does it mean with that? It's my first day of job, and you say give me a toy, what you say, maybe after tomorrow you can find another one. But it really makes sense, right? As we have to be on our toes all the time, right? Upskill all the time. It doesn't mean that whatever you learn or you gain your degrees will be there for forever.
Yeah.
So keep on learning, and learning doesn't mean that you have to be going back to school. It can be any professional courses or attend on online courses today. Alright? So keep on your toes because the world is evolving, and especially more like Sri's industry, technology is evolving every single second. Alright, so we have to be on our toes.
So it used to be every 6 months, or it used to be every year, you need to upskill. Then it becomes 6 months. Then now I think 3 months or less than 3 months. Things are changing so fast. And I think Cheryl brought up online learning, etc. But I think the best people to learn is from your colleagues or your associates. So for example, I'm a salesperson, right? I need a bit of tech knowledge. Who do I go to? I go to the engineers, go to the technical people, go to the product people who has that knowledge and willing to share. And vice versa, you can also impart your sales skills to them, right? So it's about sharing. And the more you talk to people, I think the more you learn.
And this is where she mentioned about networking. Networking is not about building relationships, it's about learning from each other. So because each of us has a reservoir of knowledge, experiences, and this is where we can actually tap on each other and enrich one or enrich your even colleagues. Being a reseller 1 year to how many? About 3 years?
So here
six
I
years, 4
was
years.
1 year.
Okay.
I cannot take it already.
Right. Then for
Here I was 3
3 years.
plus another 2
Alright.
because 2 different company.
yes.
So-
So this is where you did not sleep for almost 5 years.
Yeah lah.
All right. So to us, we have not seen you for a while. I thought she went for Alpine.
So now you know why I kind of disappeared from the
Yeah.
adventure life.
Yes.
So that here was what? Work to live. Distributor life was really
Anyway,
work to live.
we'll come to that. Okay. So there. So after this.
So in distributor, I was fortunate during these
Then-
2 years.
Then what happened?
These 2 years,
Uh-huh.
is a new company that was brand new in Singapore.
Okay.
So again, become a hunter.
So back to Hunter again.
Because
So builder to hunt.
Because new distributor now, you need to
Yes.
hunt new resellers. To tell
Right.
them, I'm new, I'm nobody.
Okay.
Why should you work with us?
Okay.
Right? So again, your contacts and your network.
This is that.
That's why people want to come and work with you. Right?
Yeah.
So then I was doing here, again, I was very focused. I was focusing
Okay.
on two different up and coming technology vendor. I was representing their products, right?
Right.
And selling. So I was given the opportunity to join a technology vendor, okay?
Great. With that, ladies and stay tuned. All right. You're in for the part 2 to Shree's on how she actually make it into the next component, which is the tech vendor. All right. So we'll see you again the next session. Bye.